Hey everyone, it's Green Zero here, back with another Command & Conquer 3 Kane's Wrath video commentary. We are on Tiberium Rift, and I have another game here for you today, so I thought, you know what, we might as well jump back in and do another game. So we're going to see who the players we have in this game are. On the left-hand side of Tiberium Rift, we have, playing as the GDI faction, is going to be bike-RUsh+ownz. Now, he is random, by the way, so he has selected random, and his opponent on the right-hand side will be Senna, who has dealt a Nod faction here. Did he even build a barracks? I don't think he did. He does have a power plant, and he does have a scout out there, so he's going to be the marked of Kane versus we have GDI Vanilla here. So bike-RUsh is GDI Vanilla, and Senna will be the marked of Kane. Now, we have seen these guys play a lot in the past. I mean, bike-RUsh obviously is the better player here, but we have seen Senna beat him quite a number of times, especially in some of those ladder wars as well. Not that ladder wars really count for much, but still, beating bike-RUsh in a best of series is impressive in itself. But Senna, probably a little while to go just yet before he can break that circle, but constantly playing the pros. That's the thing about Senna that separates him from a couple of the other just regular good players, in that he's not afraid to play anyone, and he will come out and continue to get better and better. We can see that double rifle foxhole here for bike-RUsh. This is designed to pick away at this power plant. Eventually Senna's going to have to use a repair tool on it, otherwise he's going to lose it, so that's why he's got two rifles. You can see already about 25% of the building's health is already gone, and by the time the MCV gets to the expansion, he's going to be down less than, he's going to be down quite a lot. Actually spreading out and moving there. I'm just keeping the camera here as well because there's really not a lot happening. I mean, he didn't even bother to scout bike-RUsh. Obviously comfortable that as a GDI faction, he was not going to rush him, especially in a random mirror. As GDI, you kind of have to know what the enemy is or what their faction is. But a second foxhole comes up, and look at that Senna just being a real pain. He plops down another power plant in front of this one. He's still using the repair tool, but there you go, he stopped using the repair tool. Remember, it does cost money to use the repair tool. That will drain his queue, and so every little bit helps, especially at the start of the game where you're trying to get your economy going and smooth it out. bike-RUsh is keeping up with these foxholes here. Senna, not too fast. We'll have to see if he drops a second war factory. He's quite some distance from the expansion, but still close enough he can slam down that refinery if necessary. He will do so. It is noticeably far away from the Tiberium field. That's a bit of a, I mean, obviously it's close, but that's extra distance those harvesters will have to travel to get to that. I can't help but feel like he could have placed that a little bit closer. Oh no, maybe that is the distance of his build radius there, but nonetheless, bike-RUsh has pit bulls coming out. He has reached the expansion as well. Double war factory pit bulls, so Senna, who has only gone for a second ref, is really going to be hurting. The Raider buggy obviously has revealed something he did not want to see. Scorpion tanks are out. He's still trying to deal with this, which means bike-RUsh is going to be able to come straight in. Did he not realize that they were heading there? He has got a second war factory down. He's going to micro around the war factory, try and buy himself some time. The pit bulls are trying to focus it, but moving it around to this side of the war factory makes it difficult. The pit bulls have to drive around. He's going to try to give it another move order, but you know what? I think that's going to be a little bit too much. He's going to lose that one. He's going to go for the second harvester. There's a third harvester there as well. That harvester is quite low. Nod harvesters don't have a lot of health. He's going to pop a second harvester there, so that's pretty bad for Senna, losing two harvesters. Not a lot of pit bulls went down there, only a couple of pit bulls, or probably only about maybe 2 or 3 pit bulls. Not a lot went down there. I wasn't really actually paying attention, to be honest, but there's still quite a number of pit bulls here. They will find a Scorpion tank out in the open, but he's able to pop some of those really heavily damaged pit bulls, so at least he gets a few of those. But I mean, the 2 harvesters for these handful of pits, that's a good trade for bike-RUsh, especially since Senna is looking to eco hard. He's now going to have to rebuild those harvesters. Still with 3 harvesters here, done a good job. Second ref obviously came down, ecoing pretty crazy. Pitbulls on the way up here again. bike-RUsh does have double refs, so he's obviously he's going light on the pitbulls now because, you know, he put 2 ref down, so he didn't want to dual war factory out pitbulls too heavily. If he was just doing nothing but dueling them out, he'd have a lot more. Senna comfortable just to herd them around like he's doing now. Eventually the Scorpions will just get to a point where they can just go and attack, and the pitbulls won't be able to do anything. You can see already now he's running away from them because he hasn't spent a lot of money on pitbulls. Battle marker over here. It is nothing by the looks of things. Battle markers over here. There is a Raider buggy there. He will clean that one up. A few rocket squads and Predator tanks will come out to help push back these Scorpions, but these Scorpions really just here to pursue the pit bulls. they really didn't serve much other purpose. He falls back now to the blue Tiberium field. No one has got the blue Tiberium field just yet, so gonna start picking away at that damaged tank there, and he should snare it, will snare that one. 2 more tanks in the red health and burning. Hopefully Senna splits them off from his control group and gets them repaired, because they're pretty useless at this point. I mean, they're slower than the other tanks because of their heavy damage mode, and he is going to split them off, so that's well done there. I mean, repairing units is free. I mean, it costs you time if you want to value that as a resource, which it is a resource, of course, in this game as well. Time is valuable, but for Senna, it's not really a priority time right now. He can take his time. bike-RUsh now, is he going for another base? He does have a tier 2 down. AP ammunition is on the way, but I'm not sure what for. He has no units that can utilize that. He is going to steal the blue Tiberium field, 2 harvesters, both with blue Tib. That is going to be $5,600 worth of Tiberium for both of those harvesters, not just for one. That's both harvesters. Senna trying to come in with his bikes. He did not see that. They will be completely routed. They really didn't have any impact at all. They obviously went up to the top of the map and came around. bike-RUsh is choosing to retain this heavy tier 1 Predators, Rockets, Pitbull type spam. It will give him a lot of map control. Senna, I don't think he was going heavy. No, he wasn't going heavy on the Scorpions. He should have a few left. There's a couple here. There's a couple defending his main. I mean, that's really all they're going to be able to do at this point in time. Avatar Venom is coming out, which is definitely interesting. The avatars are pretty difficult to kill for GDI with this unit combination. The Pitbulls just don't do enough damage, and he's going to need quite a few Predator tanks. The Venoms are obviously there to clean up the rocket squads, which are now on the south side. He doesn't have a lot of rocket squads. It's just supplementary rocket squads at this point in time. bike-RUsh should be at the expansion, which he is at the expansion right now, so he's going to pop down a ref, no doubt. He's working on something which is probably a refinery. Battle marker up here. I'm not sure if you see. Yeah, Senna does have a Raider buggy. He does spot this. Venoms are on the move. He does have laser capacitors. That's interesting. So no, he doesn't. He does not have. No, he's mocked. Sorry, he has supercharged particle beam. What am I doing? What am I doing? I kept thinking he was Nod. He's actually the marked of Kane, which means he's going to have these really cool shredder turrets, which are pretty much just going to prevent any attack from infantry anyway. Raider buggy will be sorted out by those Predators, unfortunately. Not really necessary to lose the scout to the Predator tanks, but his vision was elsewhere. Refineries down here for bike-RUsh. Now, Senna has done a great job to get double ref down here and an extra harvester as well. He's got units kind of scattered about here. He's not very heavily concentrated. He is kind of all over the place. That Venom obviously trying to get a scout off or something and was picked off. So bike-RUsh very thoroughly containing Senna here, but he does have railguns. Wow, he actually managed to pump out a tech center. I did not see that, and now he does have railguns, which is really going to help out his Predators. He is really just going to go heavy on the tier 1. Now he has the railgun upgrade. His Predators are actually quite potent. Scorpion tank obviously being used as a scout there. Unfortunately, it will be destroyed. More avatars coming out again. Avatars, if there's enough of them, will still be able to defeat the tanks here, the Predator tanks, even with railguns. He might need some Mammoth tanks mixed in. That would be a lot better, because the avatars can pop these tanks relatively quickly if there's enough of them, and there's a lot of avatars here actually. Look at this, 5, 6, 7, 8, there's almost 10 avatars there. He's not going to be able to do too much about that. bike-RUsh will poke into the field with this one rail Predator. He's going to attract the attention of Senna. There's an attack going on over here as well, so looks like bike-RUsh is going to reverse move into this field. There's not a lot here. Senna is going to defend it sporadically, though. He's going to try to take it out. He's moving on the top field as well. We're going to have to split the viewage here, and we got a Tib Vane. We got a Tib Vane here, and that is going to be the end of all of those Predator tanks. He does nuke a few of his harvesters, only one by the looks of it. He's going to pop a second one there. That's nice. But meanwhile, bike-RUsh, that attack, you know what? I mean, he kills some buildings over here, but he's actually being cleaned up quite readily by the forces of Senna. Senna just deciding to defend that out, and he will emerge on top there. 2, maybe 3. I saw 2 harvesters go down. Maybe there was more. I'm not sure, but both the refs are intact. He does have more harvesters. You can see he's pulling harvesters. There's a few queued up here that he could start to move across. This base was somewhat hollowed out. bike-RUsh probably has a backup plan. Yeah, the Marv just coming out now. Probably going to sell the Reclamator Hub. Yeah, get the extra Zone Trooper squad just to mitigate some of the cost in building such an expensive epic unit, especially since, you know, those Zone Troopers are $1,300 each. or are they 1200? I'm not 100% sure. I should really know. They're either 12 or 1300. Well, you could just check before this engagement starts. So bike-RUsh there they are. They're 1300. I should know that off by heart, but sometimes it just slips your mind. Battle marker up here. He's going to come in. He's got pit bulls and Senna, which means he can't defend his base. He's going to go for the attack though, and there's so many avatars here. I don't think he can do too much about it. This base will be overrun. All the harvesters are destroyed. The Venoms come back, which means the Venoms are not with the main attack force over here. And there's actually a bunch of infantry, but you know what, there's so many avatars here, and there's some awakened squads there. A sonic emitter will come down, but you know what, I don't think it's going to do too much here. They're now taking on the Marv here. The Marv taking a fair bit of damage from these avatars now. He might have to back up these avatars. Other avatars are shooting at rocket squads. He's going to bring in the EMP, the EMP blast, which he will be able to do now, disabling the Marv there. He's all but abandoned his base over here, which is being completely destroyed now. So it's going to be a base trade situation. The Marv will be destroyed. There's not enough Venoms though. He used a cloaking field to kill a ton of rockets, but you know what? He needed to do that at the start of the engagement, not the end. He has no anti-infantry. He could go for a crush. He's got so many avatars. He might as well crush, but his base is now being overrun. He has to kind of defend this because it's his last buildings. He still holds a tech center. Unfortunately, this one avatar will be overrun. He should be able to do a little bit of damage, maybe get one more kill before he goes down. He will pop that last tank there. Battle markers over here. This one avatar was left behind. bike-RUsh should have the ability to reclaim those. Already with 3 barracks out, he's not producing out of all of them, but no doubt he's grabbing these avatars. This is a problem for Senna. Senna, of course, has been completely routed up the top, and he's bringing his whole army back for just these 4 tanks. Not necessary. He could have sent like 2 avatars and that would have been sufficient. He doesn't have the ability to build anti-infantry units. He will do now. He might as well just move his MCV into bike-RUsh's base. bike-RUsh actually has no refineries here. I'm not sure if they were nuked by a catalyst or if they were destroyed in the ensuing conflict. We probably saw it, but I wasn't paying attention to it. Tib troopers are here. Actually, Tib troopers are actually a pretty good idea. They'll be able to slow down the enemy vehicles and they'll also be able to kill the infantry. But right now, bike-RUsh is just buying time. He's literally just buying so much time. He's putting his reps back down. He's got captured avatars and he can just spam rocket squads. He could even get the composite armor upgrade if he wanted to. He's sold off the majority of his base here. He could move some of these harvesters about, and he's still trying to produce some predator tanks. Battle marker over there. Looks like Senna will be splitting up his forces now. Yeah, he's going to split them up, but you know what? I don't agree with the decision making here from Senna, bringing his whole army back to kill just a couple of tanks, and now he's stuck at home. There's Tib here, but he needs to be there. bike-RUsh is at his field and he's harvesting it, and he has refs, which means bike-RUsh is going to be able to reinforce relatively easily here. And you can see he's got units on the move all around the map. He's actually falling back with these ones to his main base, so maybe he wants to take things slow as well. A lot of infantry over here, so things just resetting. bike-RUsh not being as aggressive as I thought he might be. Venoms are going to come back out because if he gets enough of them, he'll be able to do some serious damage. But again, he could just go for the legs upgrade. Very cheap, very cost effective, and just run with some Tib trooper squads, and they will just destroy all the infantry virtually instantaneously. It's not something we see getting built that often because, you know, Mock doesn't get played a super amount, and they don't tend to actually produce Tiberium troopers. They just get them out of sold off structures. But bike-RUsh, look at this, he's just kind of spawning forward here with this force, and there's going to be another major engagement. It's going to be a big one, and I don't think Senna's going to be able to survive it because he's got captured avatars, he's got railguns, and he's got rockets. No upgrades on the rockets, but with the railguns there, that should suffice. Senna has a standing army of 7 avatars here. He's got half a dozen Venoms, some Tib troopers, and he's got some Mock squads. So if the EMPs are real, and with the assistance of these Shredder... Oh, is this going to happen now? Is it? Oh my god, it is going to happen now. We're going to have these units come in. He will EMP blast down right in the middle, gets a few units here. It's going to be pretty tight though. The Venoms are actually getting swatted out of the sky relatively quickly, but not before they thin the rocket squads enough. Can the avatars take out the remaining forces? That's the question though. I don't think they're going to... bike-RUsh is just focusing these avatars one after the other, and he's not able to destroy the avatars that bike-RUsh has recaptured. They're just such a tanky unit here, and he will be overrun. Senna's got to try to hold this somehow. He's got more avatars back here, so 3 more avatars rock up late to the party. He kind of needed those a little while ago, and now bike-RUsh is able to overrun them before they get to the point where they can start destroying everything here. He should be able to kill that avatar. There's actually 2 veteran ones. bike-RUsh has managed to veterancy up 2 of these avatars. He can't hope to hold this area now. There's AP ammo towers coming down. bike-RUsh does have his own war factory here, which means he can't reinforce with infantry, and the shredder turrets are giving a little bit of a false sense of security here for Senna, because they're not actually going to be able to destroy the avatars. It's just not going to happen. He's just going to come in, and Senna sells the MCV, which I can only assume he's going to sell out of the game. And I had the HUD removed for a long time there, and I can't put it back on now because the game has ended. So that was actually a pretty interesting game. I wasn't anything super fantastic, but it definitely was a good fight. And bike-RUsh, just being bike-RUsh, had Senna, I think he had Senna scared a bit there. Senna made some iffy decisions. From the observer's perspective, we can see he made some iffy decisions. If he just kept attacking bike-RUsh and just crushed the infantry, he would have been fine. He could have sent 2 avatars back to his base to deal with those Preds, but unfortunately he retreated with everything, and that's where really bike-RUsh just took hold of the game there. His first defense of bike-RUsh was good when he pushed him away and got the Tib vein off. 164,000 or 123,000, so bike-RUsh got a notable amount of Tiberium, because he did push Senna off his expansion field, of course, basically without a fight, because when he did lose the top field, bike-RUsh just walked straight into it, basically. But yeah, that was a pretty good game. I enjoyed that. I like the firefights there. They definitely were explosive. 15 minutes, 35 seconds. Hope you all enjoyed that video. I'm Green Zero. Stay tuned to my channel, and I'll bring you some more VODs as soon as possible.